The diagram above shows the sector OAB of a circle with center O, radius 9 centimeters, and an angle 0.7 radians. Find the length of the arc AB. Radians is another way of measuring an angle. So it means that that angle from there to there is 0.7 radians. A pi radians equals 180 degrees. If I divide both sides by pi, then I must be dividing 180 degrees also by pi. Pi cancel pi, and I get 1 radians equals 180 degrees over pi. So if I want to get 0.7, I just need to multiply 1 by 0.7. So 0.7 radians equals 180 times 0.7 over pi. And if you punch that into calculator, so you type in 180 times 0.7 and you divide it by pi. To get pi, you need to press shift and then times 10 to the power of x. That will give pi, and that gives 40.1 degrees. We don't need that in this question. I'm just showing you how to convert. So the actual angle here is 40.1 degrees. Now to answer the question, find the length of the arc AB. Well, the arc AB, you may or you may not remember the formula. To work out the formula of an arc AB, you compare the arc AB, which is a sector, with the circle. So here's a circle, and here's a sector. And a circle has a circumference which is 2 pi r. That's the arc of a circle. The whole thing here is 2 pi r, where r is the radius from the center of the circle. Well, the same circle has a radius here with a sector, and it has an angle of its own, theta. So to work out the length of an arc, L, we compare the circumference of a circle over angle of a circle. That's the angle of a circle. And we compare that to circumference or length of arc of a sector divided by the angle of a sector. So this is the length of arc of a sector. Now to write this out, so circumference of a circle is 2 pi r divided by the angle of a circle, which is 2 pi. Because remember, 2 pi equals 360 degrees. So the angle of a circle is 360 degrees. And then you compare that to the length of arc we're looking for over the angle of arc that we have. In this case, 0.7 radians. 2 pi, we cancel 2 pi. Therefore, we need to rewrite, make L the subject, and that will be multiply both sides by theta, so that will be r theta. In this case, we've got the r, which is 9 centimeters, and therefore the arc of a sector is 9 times the radians. We have to use the radians, not the degrees, so that will be 0.7, and that will be 6.3 centimeters. So the sector has an arc. This arc here, AB, is 6.3 centimeters. And so that we can just say L And so that's the answer for the first part. The second part, part B, is asking us to find the area of the sector OAB. The formula for area of a sector is 1/2 r squared times, and theta is 0.7 radians. R is 9 centimeters. As you can see, 9 centimeters there. And therefore, we just need to plug this in. So 1/2 times 9 squared times 0.7. And that will be 1/2 times 81 times 0.7 in radians, by the way. Not in degrees, we have to use a radians value. And that will be, if you plug that into calculator, you should be getting 28.35 centimeters squared. Don't forget to put your unit. That's the area of a sector here. If you don't put your unit, you might lose mark. C part. The C part is asking us the line AC shown in the diagram above is perpendicular to OA. So that's AC. You can see it's at right angles, so therefore AC is perpendicular to OA. And OBC is a straight line, so that OBC is a straight line. Find the length of AC, giving your answer to 2 decimal places. So we need to find AC length. So we've got a right angle triangle here. And with a right angle triangle, and you want to find the side, or you want to find the angle, sometimes it's always best to start with SOHCAHTOA. How do we know which one to use in this situation? Is it SO or CA or TOA? Well, the best thing is to find out what you've got. In this case, this is the angle, and that's the adjacent of the angle. This is the hypotenuse of the angle. We don't need that, do we? No. We've got the adjacent, and we need opposite. So we're looking for adjacent and opposite, because that's the opposite of the angle. So what has adjacent and opposite? Well, opposite and hypotenuse, adjacent and hypotenuse, opposite and adjacent. So we'll be using tan. So therefore, we'll be saying tangent of radiant 0.7 should be equal to opposite, which is AC, over 9 adjacent. And multiply both sides by 9. So AC equals 9 tan 0.7. And if we plug that into a calculator, so you do 9 times tan 0.7, and that should give you 7.58 centimeter. And that's the value of AC. So that's what we're looking for. Right. The region H is bounded by the arc AB. So that's arc AB. We just found that length. And the line AC and CB. Find the area of H, giving your answer to 2 decimal places. Well, first of all, we need to just observe what we've got here. We've got a right angle triangle, so we know how to find the area of that. That's easy. And we've got a sector here. The triangle is bigger than the sector. So it's always best to find the area of the sector and take it away from the area of the triangle, right angle triangle. So that's what we need to do. So the area of the sector, we've already found that. So that area of the sector was 28.35 centimeters squared. So we found that earlier. Now the area of the triangle, so area of the right angle triangle, that will be, well, it's a half height, and the height here, this is the height, 9 centimeter, so that will be times 9, and then times AC. We've already found AC to be 7 point. If we go back here, AC is 7.58, so times 7.58. And when we multiply those together, we should be getting 34.11 for the area of the triangle, right angle triangle. Now the area of H, so area of H will be the area of a right angle triangle minus area of the sector, and that will equals, area of this right angle triangle is 34.11 minus 28.35, and that should give 5.76 centimeters squared. So that would be the area of H, the shaded part here. And so that's the answer we are looking for. I just want to point out that the questions, you can see they're quite straightforward, easy, and it's always worth reading the questions carefully. And most of them are follow-on questions anyway, so you've already done part of the answer earlier, so you're just using that to solve the other answers.